So today we're taking a slightly different review, and it's one technology that I personally love so dearly. And aerial photography and videography has been around for a while, but if you have been holding back buying a drone, I'm gonna share with you why now it's a great time to get this one. So I've personally bought this drone for this review, so all my opinions are not influenced by any party or DJI themselves. This is my second drone from DJI, and I started my journey with the original Mavic Air, but sold it off because it was just too cumbersome to set up and carry around. When DJI announced the Mini 3 Pro, it has all the features I'm looking for in a small package, and I immediately pre-ordered it. So this version that I got here is with the new RC remote, which you can see at the back there, and also with the Fly More kit, and this comes in at about 4,999 Malaysia ringgit or about 1,098 US dollars. Of course, DJI gives you many options to choose from, and you can get the cheapest option, which comes with the aircraft and the RC N1 remote without the screen, and that comes in at 3,399 or about 759 US dollars. So if you're interested in getting this drone, do check out my links in the description below. So the DJI Mini 3 Pro is part of their Mini line, which is part of DJI's line of tiny small drones. So in previous releases such as the original Mavic Mini or the Mini 2, they are kind of like stripped down versions of their larger drones, and the key benefit of the Mini series is the weight, since in certain parts of the world, if you have a drone that is 250 grams or more, you need to register them. So fortunately in Malaysia, as of this filming, that is not the case. So when DJI announced the Mini 3 Pro, it effectively took all that we love from their larger Air and Mavic series and sprinkled it some onto the Mini 3 Pro. So we're getting lots of nice bells and whistles on this small drone itself. So starting with the design, DJI still gives you the drone that is under 249 grams with the standard battery that you use. And if you buy the Fly More Kit Plus, it gives you a larger battery with a longer flight time, but with a slight weight penalty at 289.5 grams, which in some countries require you to register your drone. So in order to fold the drone, all you gotta do is just flip all of these wings down, and this one you can just fold it backwards. And once you fold it up, the drone is absolutely tiny. And it's so tiny that it even hides under my 12 Pro. So here is my iPhone 12 Pro, and I can even hide the drone underneath it. So that's how small this drone is. So to open up the drone, all you gotta do is just reverse the process. You just flip the top ones backwards and the bottom ones forwards. And there you go. Your drone is ready to fly. So you also see some eyes in the front of the drones right over here, right? So they look like eyes and kind of look like a frog as well. And this is part of their obstacle sensing technology, and we'll talk a little bit more about them later. And out of the box, DJI also gives you a very nice cover to protect the gimbal and the camera during transport. And to remove them, all you gotta do is just pull the bottom and you can just slide it out. So another great feature that the DJI Mini 3 Pro has is the removal of this lip here, or the roof of the drone. So in previous generation Mini drones, or most of their drones for that matter, the roofs extend all the way to the front here, so there is no way for your camera to tilt upwards. So this is especially true when you're flying in sport mode and your drone is tilted this way and the camera has to point up. Oftentimes it will have a limit, or it will just show a little bit of that roof. So with this new drone and with this new design, they have removed it, and you finally can point upwards to film. So at the top of the drone, you're also going to get a button to turn on the drone. Press once and you get to check the battery life, and if you press once and hold again, then it will turn on the drone. So without the battery, the drone feels extremely light and even feels like a dummy drone. And to insert the battery, all you gotta do is just slot this battery in. So it's really easy to swap out and when one battery dies. So with the Fly More combo, you're gonna get 3 batteries. So one is inside the aircraft, 2 additional ones, and you're also gonna get a charging dock from DJI. So there are 2 different types of remotes that DJI sells together with the Mini 3 Pro. The standard one, which is the RCN1, which doesn't have the screen and you have to mount your phone onto it, or you can get this version with the RC, which is new for the Mini 3 Pro, and it comes with a screen so you can easily and quickly get your drone up in the air without messing about with your phone. So the reason why I didn't like my original Mavic Air was because you're required to mount your phone every time at the bottom, and you know, sometimes when you have a case on, you can't really put your phone in, you gotta remove your case, and then, you know, while you're flying the drone, you cannot use your phone. So those are some of the quirks that I didn't really like about the original remote. So therefore, when the new one came out with the RC, I immediately get it. So let's talk about the battery a little bit. So DJI sells two different types of battery for the Mini 3 Pro. So one of it is the standard battery that you get here, which keeps the weight under 249 grams. So you can see they even print it right over here, ultra light. And another one is the Plus battery, which has a longer flight time but pushes the weight above 250 grams. So with the standard battery, DJI rates the battery life at about 34 minutes, but this depends on many factors such as wind, your altitude, other conditions. So with the Plus battery, it goes all the way up to 47 minutes, and if that doesn't sound too long, if you ever flown a drone before, flying about 30-40 minutes is actually really long. So to charge up the drone, if you don't have the charging dock, all you gotta do is plug a Type-C cable all the way into the back of the drone, and it will start charging up the drone. So this method of charging isn't the fastest, and it takes about 101 minutes to charge it up. And if you have the DJI dock itself, it takes about 78 minutes to charge it up. So you just gotta plug the Type-C cable into it, and you can see that all the battery light starts to blink, and it takes about 78 minutes to fully charge each battery with the 30-watt USB-C charger that it comes with. So there are some drawbacks about this charging dock, and I'll talk a little bit about them later at the technologies where I don't really like, so stay tuned for that. So let's talk about the features and technologies that I love about this drone. So first is definitely the weight. The entire drone is so light, and combining it with the DJI RC, the entire system weight is just so light and easy to bring around. And if you buy the Fly More combo, DJI even gives you a bag that you can fit everything in nicely. So the second thing I love about the drone is the frog eyes that you see around the drone. Amongst all the mini drones, this is the first to have a tri-directional obstacle sensing, meaning it will sense object at the front, it will also sense things from the back, and even at the bottom, so you get two more eyes at the bottom. So this tri-directional obstacle sensing is really cool because it stops you from crashing it into anything, and with their latest APAS 4.0 or Advanced Pilot Assistance System, the drone can choose to either fly over an obstacles or stop using their intelligent route planning. Another new feature that many would love with this drone is the true vertical shooting, and the drone can now tilt the camera vertically to shoot a wider true vertical shot with for your TikToks or your YouTube shots, so that's very cool. Another main feature that we've talked about is the inclusion of the new DJI RC remote right at the back there, which was not available on their other drones out of the box, and this time you have the option to buy it as a bundle. And the fifth thing that I love about this drone is the new sensor setup. So now we're getting a much larger sensor amongst the mini range at 1/1.3 inch sensor size. This means that you get better video and image quality and also better low light performance. The sixth thing that I love about this drone is that now it shoots up to 4K at 60 frames per second, so slow motion at 1080p up to 120 frames per second, and also 48 megapixel of still images, so a huge improvement compared to the older range of mini drones. Finally, another thing that I love about this is the dual native ISO, so that you can get direct HDR footage outputs without the need for combining videos or photos manually. So those are some of the welcoming features that I really like. But no technology is perfect, so here are some of the things that I don't quite like and still needs improvement. So firstly, it's the price. With more features, technologies and options, the Mini 3 Pro is now way more expensive compared to other mini drones. Where the mini range of drones was supposed to be their more affordable drones, but the Mini 3 Pro is now no longer an affordable drone. The second thing I think could have some improvements is on the zooming features. Since it is quite often that we would need a zoom feature, either a separate telephoto lens would be good, or maybe have some optical zoom. Currently the Mini 3 Pro still runs digital zoom. And finally, another thing that I don't quite like is the charging times, and it's quite slow to charge it up, and if you use the dock, the battery is charged sequentially. So you can see that this first one is fully charged, and now this one is charging, and then later it will charge this one. Maybe it's some electronic design that makes it so, I'm not too sure, but imagine you have 3 flat batteries. It'll need to charge each individual battery 78 minutes each, so 3 times 78, that's about 234 minutes, which is almost 4 hours to get all your battery charged up. So I'm not too sure whether in the future there will be possibilities for parallel charging. So this has been the same type of charging since the first drone that DJI released. So just to give you an idea of how this drone's footage look like, here are some samples for you to enjoy.
Interstellar, night space, no one
So if you've been holding back buying your first drone, I think this is the best mini drone to buy from DJI right now, especially with all the technologies that you get, features that it inherited from their more expensive drones such as the Air or Mavic series. It is a little bit more expensive, but comparing to other mini drones, I would urge that you save up and get the Mini 3 Pro instead. So that is it for this review. If you find this video helpful, smash that thumbs up button, share this video everywhere, and if you haven't yet subscribed, do consider subscribing, and I'll see you in the next video.